Rowan Atkinson is a famous actor and comedian. He was born on January 6, 1955 in England. He is best known for playing Mr. Bean, a funny and silent character. But Rowan has done much more in his career. He has worked in television, films, and even on the stage. Let's take a closer look at his life and career. He was the youngest of 4 children in his family. His father was a farmer, and his mother was a housewife. From a young age, Rowan was very smart. He went to a good school and later studied at the University of Newcastle. He studied electrical engineering. At first, Rowan wanted to be an engineer like his father. However, he also loved acting and comedy. While at university, Rowan began to discover his love for comedy. He joined a comedy group and started to perform in front of people. He quickly became very good at making people laugh. His classmates loved his funny characters and jokes. After finishing university, Rowan decided to follow his dream of becoming a comedian. In the 1970s, Rowan moved to London to find work as an actor. He started to appear in television shows and comedy programs. He was very funny, but he was also a little bit different from other comedians. Rowan's humor was not just about talking and telling jokes. He used his face, his body, and his actions to make people laugh. In 1990, Rowan Atkinson created one of the most famous characters in the world, Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean is a silly, childlike man who never speaks. He often finds himself in funny and awkward situations, and the audience laughs because of the things he does, not because of what he says. The character of Mr. Bean is special because he uses very little speech. Instead, he relies on his facial expressions, body language, and actions to create comedy. For example, in one episode, Mr. Bean is in a church. He does everything wrong, from sitting in the wrong seat to making loud noises. The audience laughs because of how he moves and reacts, even though he never speaks. Mr. Bean became a huge success. The show was shown in many countries, and people around the world loved the funny little man. Rowan Atkinson became very famous for playing this role. He worked on the show for 5 years. After that, he made Mr. Bean into films, and the character became even more popular. Mr. Bean was different from other characters on television. He was not like most people. He made mistakes, but he always tried his best. He was a simple character, but very funny. This is why people of all ages loved him. Children, teenagers, and adults all found Mr. Bean funny. One of the reasons Mr. Bean is so popular is because the show has little dialogue. People from many countries can watch the show and understand it, even if they don't speak English. The comedy is universal. In fact, Mr. Bean is so well known that some people can recognize him by his face or the way he walks, even if they don't know his name. Although Mr. Bean made Rowan Atkinson very famous, it was not the only role he played. Rowan has worked in many other television shows, films, and theater performances. For example, he is also known for playing the character of Blackadder. Blackadder is a British television series that started in the 1980s. Rowan Atkinson plays a character named Edmund Blackadder, who is always trying to get ahead in life. Blackadder is very different from Mr. Bean. He speaks a lot, and he is very clever, but also very rude. The show is a comedy, but it is also clever and satirical, meaning it makes fun of serious things, like history and society. The character of Blackadder was very popular, and the show became a big success. Rowan has also been in other films, such as the Johnny English series. In these films, he plays a funny spy who is not very good at his job. Johnny English is similar to Mr. Bean in that he often finds himself in funny situations, because he is not very smart or skilled. However, Johnny English is a little different because he talks and has a personality that is a bit more complicated than Mr. Bean's. Rowan Atkinson is also known for his work in the theater. He has performed in plays like The Nerd and The Lion in Winter. He has shown that he is not only a great comedian, but also a talented actor in different kinds of performances. One of the things that make Rowan Atkinson's comedy special is his style. He does not just tell jokes, but he uses his body to make people laugh. His face can show many different emotions. He can make a funny face or do a funny dance and people laugh. His comedy is physical, and this is what makes him unique. Rowan's comedy is also very clever. He likes to make jokes about everyday life. For example, in the Mr. Bean show, Mr. Bean has trouble doing simple things, like going to the dentist or trying to get a parking spot. These are things that many people experience, but Mr. Bean does them in a very funny way. Rowan also uses a lot of slapstick comedy, which is when people get hurt or fall over in a funny way. Even though Rowan Atkinson is known for his comedy, he is also very serious about his work. He spends a lot of time thinking about the characters he plays and the scenes he performs. He is very professional and always tries to do his best. Rowan Atkinson is a very private person. He likes to keep his personal life away from the public. He has been married twice. His first wife was a woman named Sunitra Sastry, who worked as a makeup artist. They had 2 children together before they divorced in 2015. In 2017, Rowan married a woman named Louise Ford, and they also have a child. Even though Rowan is famous, he tries to live a normal life. He enjoys spending time with his family and friends. He also likes cars and is a big fan of fast cars. In fact, he has a collection of expensive cars, and he has even raced cars in different events. However, he is not the type of celebrity who enjoys being in the spotlight. He prefers to stay out of the media and live quietly. Rowan Atkinson has been entertaining people for many years. His work as Mr. Bean has made him a household name around the world. He has won many awards for his acting and comedy. Even though he has played many different characters, Mr. Bean is the role that people will always remember him for. The character of Mr. Bean is a timeless figure in comedy. His funny, silent ways have made people laugh for decades. Rowan's influence on comedy is huge. Many comedians and actors admire him for his ability to make people laugh without saying much. His work has inspired new generations of comedians who use physical humor and clever expressions. Rowan Atkinson will always be remembered as one of the greatest comedians of all time. Rowan Atkinson's journey from a young student in England to an international comedy star is an inspiring one. Through his hard work, creativity, and unique style, he has made millions of people laugh all around the world. From his iconic role as Mr. Bean to his other work in television, film, and theater, Rowan has shown that he is a talented and versatile actor. He is not just a funny man. He is a hard-working, serious actor who loves his craft. His legacy in comedy will continue to live on, and people will always remember him as one of the funniest actors in history.